India is a major partner in the climate process, has traditionally been a leader, and is, of course, an important global voice. We, as the UAE, are very proud of our very strong relationship with India. Our leaders are very close with your leadership in India. And that's part of why we've been very engaged with the G20. We think India has a very important role as chair of the G20, host of the G20. The outcomes of the G20 are critical for the road to COP28, and we've seen some positive outcomes so far, but we really need to see the G20 deliver a big boost to encouraging countries to deliver at COP28. India has a very important leadership role there. I think that I also want to highlight that India is a great example of the challenge of the developing world, in that India is taking huge strides when it comes to renewable energy, it's taking huge steps, but still faces many challenges in that it needs to provide energy for its development and growth and for the average person on the ground. And so how does it do that in a really quick way? And how does it create the right policies and environments? How does it do the adaptation that's required? Because, of course, there are many different challenges, as India is a huge place from north to south, east to west. You've got to look at different scenarios and situations. How does it mobilize that? How does it do its climate action while it's achieving its development goals? And those two things, we believe, are two faces or two sides of the same coin, that we can achieve the same kinds of development goals while we achieve the climate action we need. And that's where we need to see the reform of the financial institutions to ensure that smart climate investments are made. I think that I'll come back to the camp, but I've seen this in many other places just because it's the example I can think of. You know, in the refugee camp, they had a diesel generator to pump water. That's because that's the most, for them, cheapest, easiest way to install some power. But it's intermittent because the fuel is expensive. Whereas if they were able to invest in a solar array, they could have much better, cleaner power pumping the water. But because of the challenges that they have of finances to finance a solar array, they're not able to install that type of installation. India is a perfect example of where solar is a perfect solution, where you have off-grid solutions. You can deploy solar in villages, in places like that. It allows you to empower young people to study, have lights, etc. Charge your cell phone so that you can have the banking system that is through the cell phones. So a lot of these choices, these climate smart choices, actually have developmental positives. And so, again, I come back to what the UAE is about. The UAE has always been about how do we take something that's a challenge and turn it into an opportunity. We live in a hot place with beaches. We've turned that into an opportunity by making it a tourist destination. If you see Dubai today, where everybody thinks of us as an oil and gas country, actually, we've diversified our economy. 70% of our economy is non-oil and gas today. We're not really an oil and gas country. If you go to Dubai, it's a tourism-based economy that's attracting finance, business, investment from around the world. Because what did their leadership say there was, we have beaches, we have sun. How do we change that into an opportunity? And our leadership has consistently said, how can we make this clean energy future an opportunity for our people? Today we provide one type of energy. We want to be a provider of that future type of energy. Let's invest in renewables. When we said we wanted to host IRENA, everybody was like, why would they want to host IRENA? Now we have the preeminent renewable energy agency in the world in the UAE. When we said we wanted to build a renewable energy company, we were laughed at because people said, why would an oil and gas company want to have a renewable energy company? Today, Masdar is one of the largest investors in renewable energy globally and is creating jobs and opportunities for the young people in the UAE and for our community, and is allowing us to be part of that energy future that is at the forefront of that. In fact, as evidenced by the 4.5 billion announcement that is really being led by Masdar and partners to deliver in Africa. and Masdar is delivering projects on the ground in Africa. So when we talk about delivering renewable energy in the developing world or solutions in the developing world, we don't talk about in theory, we talk from action, from things that we've done and we know what to do. We are partnering with the Indian government to deliver renewables in India. I come back to your original question. We need developing countries to step up and come together to address the challenges of climate change by coming forward with very powerful NDCs to show how they can reduce emissions, to bridge that gap. But we also think that this can be a development opportunity, and that if we think smart and collectively, we can deliver solutions that allow us to continue to on our development journey in a low carbon, low impact way while still achieving our developmental goals.